The biggest storm of the season to date could be brewing. What's going on, guys? I'm certified meteorologist Jonathan Kagas. In this video, we are, of course, going to talk about that as the potential for this thing to develop later in the week is upon us, with a few pieces of energy coming together in our atmosphere. Snow could develop on the backside of this thing, and then in the south, from the southern plains to the southeast, including the deep south, we are concerned with a multi-day severe weather episode potential. So we're going to get all into that. Before we break this video down, if you want to stay updated on the weather as we venture into what could be a crazy winter, severe weather side, snow-wise, you have to subscribe. Please do that. If you happen to find this content informative and helpful, and you like talking about the weather, hit that thumbs up button. It's a really, really small task, but seriously, it helps us out a lot. So I would appreciate that if you like this content, and I hope you do. All right, we're going to start in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So here is the deal. Big upper low starting to come on shore. We're fast forwarding to Friday afternoon. So this is moving in from the Pacific Ocean, from the Gulf of Alaska. Here is our dip in the jet stream right here. The red represents, scientifically we call it vorticity. It's the amount of spin in the atmosphere. So where we have that darker red, that's where we have the more intense spin. It's a little bit less where we have the yellow and oranges. Nonetheless, here goes our little upper low that is kind of working its way down. You see this ridge building way out here by LA, dip in the jet stream here. At this point, we still have a positively tilted trough. Now, what that means is when we talk about troughs, it's that dip in the jet stream here. A positively tilted means that it's oriented from southwest to northeast. It means there's going to be a system developing here. They're not typically the strongest. They can be induce significant weather when they have a positive tilt, but the likely more extreme weather comes when we have this tilting negatively. And you see, as we fast forward through Sunday, this is when we start to get that negatively tilted trough. And the reason, and the trough is oriented from the northwest to the southeast, the reason why it is a stronger system, it's because it helps to maximize the differences in temperature and pressure in the atmosphere. We have it oriented down here where we have the cold back to the northwest, we have the warmth to the southeast, and that really maximizes that temperature gradient, and that's what these kind of storms get fueled by, the differences in pressure and temperature in our atmosphere. So the greater the difference, the stronger the storm, and a negatively tilted trough like what we had developing here for Sunday really helps with that. First and foremost, and we're going to get into this in much more detail, at least to show you a little bit easier to view. The first round of severe weather comes later this weekend. In this round, at least the potential, right down here in parts of the deep south and into the southern plains. And then as we kind of watch this upper low here, which we have an area of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere right through there, that dip. And then, as you see, we have the strong winds here, evident by the arrows at 500 millibars, which is about 15 to 20,000 feet above your head. We could be opening up this entire corridor as well for severe weather on Sunday. So we have that severe weather side, as we talked about, and then we also have the snow potential. So first, I'm going to show you the European model again, how it comes together at the surface, at least from this guy. I do want to say that the European went nuts at the 12Z run, the 7 a.m. Eastern Time run of the European on December 4th. This is now the 0Z on December 5th, and it's backed off significantly. I mean, yesterday it was like historic severe weather outbreak for December. It's still significant, but it's not the nuts run that was yesterday morning, the December 4th in the morning. Area of low pressure developing right there. Evidence of our upper low was back here. You saw that little snow hanging on. As we move into Sunday, really Saturday night into Sunday is when this thing gets the strongest, and you see that area of low pressure move right over Detroit. Now, if you happen to be in Detroit or southeast Michigan, northwest Ohio, and you want snow, this is not the setup for you. When we are looking at a good snowfall, it's always, you want to be in that 100-ish to 150 miles away from the center of low pressure to the northwest where the cold air sits. And this is not good. So again, if you want snow anyway. So if you are right under the area of low pressure, it's typically like the weakest part of the storm, especially if, again, you're rooting for snow, but you see the wraparound coming through, so you're in a better spot towards Chicago, towards Green Bay, in the Euro. This is going to change. We're going to have the windshield wiper effect going in full swing between the models. With that, I do want to show you the kind of different swaths or corridors of shovelable snow as evident in both models. This is now the GFS, the American GFS, which I didn't show you the future kind of radar there, but it's the corridor really from the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma all the way up into northwest Michigan and then into Canada through the Great Lakes. That's going to be the corridor there according to the GFS, and it's all dependent upon when those little pieces that we just highlighted in the upper levels of the atmosphere start to come on through. Now, the European, again, it's backed off significantly from yesterday's run. It's still going to have that corridor of heavy snow, as I showed you, and that could be anywhere from Chicago to the western side of Wisconsin and then towards the UP of Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, and then back up into the southwest side of getting into Canada as well, the Great Lakes region of Canada. So there's a lot of discrepancy still. This is going to change. Don't latch on to one model run because, again, the pieces that we are tracking, the pieces that we're following that are going to come together to eventually make these systems are still way over the Pacific. I like to call it, like if you were a fan of Voltron back in the day or Power Rangers, how the pieces of energy are there, the pieces that come together to make this, they're there, they cause weather in and of themselves, but whenever they combine, they're stronger, and we have to kind of pinpoint, still being thousands of miles away, how they merge together and how they come, and just how they play with each other, interact. So it's a story that we are watching here, that we're going to get a little more confidence as to who sees the highest impacts, but just know that the likelihood of a significant event, both snow and severe, is going to be likely in that Friday to Sunday time frame. One last thing I do want to show you, I promised that severe weather update here, and this is going to be the day 5 outlook. Now, for those that follow the Storm Prediction Center, the main outlook, the daily outlook that they bring is from day 1 to 3. Whenever they venture out into day 4 to 8, I don't want to call it rare. It happens, especially in severe weather season, but it just means that looking longer range, there is a heightened sense of confidence that we are going to get severe weather. And you see, this is the day 5 outlook now, and you see places eastern Texas. This is going to be Houston to Shreveport, northwest of New Orleans, closer to Little Rock, extreme northeast Texas, far southwest corner of Oklahoma. This is where, at least right now, that there's confidence. Now, we're not highlighted in day 6 or day 7 out in the southeast corner or deep south yet. That's because there's just way too much uncertainty. But I will tell you that potential is going to be all the way through here from really central and north Florida and then to the extreme eastern coast of the United States. So that's going to be something that we're watching, again, developing from about Friday through Sunday across the board. We have you posted right here. And again, if you want to stay updated scientifically, meteorologically, we break things down. We don't just kind of shove it in your face. We like to have that conversation. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from if you're excited about this. No one wants to be excited about severe weather. Let's be clear about that. But for my winter friends on the cold side of it, at least this is the first big potential outside of the mountains that we're getting some snow as we venture through early December. And that potential may be few and far between beyond this system as well. The potential for snow as we kind of warm things back up prior to Christmas. Could be something bigger lurking out there around Christmas that time. Have to wait and see. Again, we'll venture into the long range another time. But nonetheless, snow might be hard to come by, so enjoy it. If you get it, we got you covered here. We're going to keep you updated on the latest stuff as it comes in. Hit that subscribe button for me, and we will catch you next time.